ACLT is the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust. As an organization, we've been going 28 years this June, and started from a personal need. My stepson, Daniel DeGale, in spring of 1993 was finally diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a blood cancer, after a lot of misdiagnosis along the way. And he immediately was put on 2 years of chemotherapy treatment, along with many blood transfusions, in the hope that he would go into remission and then get back to a normal life. Myself and his mom, Beverly, and Daniel suddenly got into a zone, an area, a terminology, a language of cancer that nobody wants to get into, but it happens. And so we fought through it. Daniel missed lots of school, got ill quite often, would bounce between Great Ormond Street Hospital and our local hospital in Croydon to get antibiotics to treat the side effects of the treatment. And that seemed to be fine. And then December 1995, we get notification from our local home care team that the new blood tests that they were doing at home highlighted that the blood cancer, the leukemia, was returning. And it was confirmed in a meeting at Great Ormond Street Hospital in January 96 to me and Beverly that Daniel had relapsed. To be diagnosed is bad enough, and to go through all that treatment and learning curve. But then just as you think you're coming through the other end, to hear relapse, this new word, meant that Daniel will have to go back on 2 more years of chemotherapy, multiple blood transfusions and all the rest. And he would need a stem cell, or the old term, bone marrow transplant. And for myself and Beverly, it was like a wake-up call. Okay, he needs a transplant. Let's sort it out. And they said, well, if Daniel was white, British, white, Northern European, you'd have a far better chance of finding the match. And we were like, what's race got to do with this? And they said, race has got everything to do with this. Because Daniel is black, his chances would be well over 1.25 million chance of finding the matching donor. What if he was white? Well, that's closer to 1 in 4, 1 in 5. Simply because the registry in this country and around the world at that time had so many more white Caucasian, white Northern European people on the registers, which meant, they have a far better chance. So for me and Beverly, it was a case of we had to do something, and we started not the Daniel DeGale Trust, which we could have done, but we thought this is bigger than Daniel, but hopefully he would benefit. We started the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust, the ACLT, to try and get black and mixed heritage people learning about the need for more people of their background stepping forward as donors to help Daniel and anyone else like him. And that was the start of the journey in 2nd of June 1996, when we officially started the charity. For myself and Beverly, it's a case of raising awareness in our community, going to schools, colleges, universities, shopping malls galore, churches, wherever there was an audience. That was the audience we wanted to address face on. Before social media ever was coming along, the internet was just starting. It was a case of us going into community and raising awareness, going against the myths and the fears and taboos that are prevalent and are still prevalent to this day about people of color saying, I want to donate something to help another person. And so we came up against lots of barriers, but we started to make a difference because people heard Beverly, people heard me. But more importantly, people heard from Daniel, especially on the news media and on radio, about, can you help me? If you can't help me, you might be able to help someone else. And back then you had to give blood to actually, you had to give a blood donation to actually be tested to see whether you can help someone like Daniel. And so we started this momentum, and people were registering, and we started a chain reaction.